A very good morning, children. In today's class, I will be doing a new lesson, Unit 7, on page 65. Matilda can do magic. I will be sending two parts of video of this lesson. One part will have half of the lesson, and the other part will have another half of the lesson. Okay? Matilda Can Do Magic by Roald Dahl. He's the writer. If you see, I have displayed his image for you. Roald Dahl was a British fighter pilot of Norwegian descent, belonging to a native of Norway. He is famous for writing stories, books, and poems for children. His stories often feature brave children who go against evil adults and overcome all sorts of troubles. Some of his famous works are Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, and The Witches, among others. So, some of his famous works are these three: Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, and The Witches. Okay, so let's move on to the lesson, children. Please keep your textbook opened. Well, Matilda can do magic, children. This is a fantasy story. What do you mean by fantasy story? Imagining impossible. Okay, so this is a fantasy story in which Matilda. So you might have a curiosity. The lesson name says Matilda can do magic. So what sort of magic is she gonna do? So this is a fantasy story in which Matilda, she is actually a very gifted child. So the story surrounds with this one main character by name Matilda, and she is a gifted child. Okay, and she discovers that she has telekinesis abilities. What do you mean by telekinesis, children? It is to influence a physical system without physical interaction. In other words, let me tell, it is the power to move things through willpower. Okay, just you direct from inside through your willpower to move certain things that will move for you. So maybe that's sort of a magic that she's gonna try. We'll see, we'll read and understand in this lesson. Okay. Okay. Matilda Wormwood is a bright, intelligent, and gifted child, but unfortunately, her parents would rather have her watch television than read a book. Her teacher, Miss Honey, recognizes her brilliance and tries to help Matilda learn more, but both her parents and the headmistress, Miss Trunchbull, refuse to allow her to do so. Okay, so the introduction very clearly states what she is going through. So Matilda Wormwood is a main character in this lesson. She's a very bright, very intelligent, and a gifted child. But unfortunately, her parents would not want her to sit and study. Instead, they want her to sit and watch television. Wow, nice, no? Wish we had parents like this. Huh? Okay, no. So, yes, so they want her to watch television rather than read a book. But her teacher, whose teacher, Matilda's teacher, Miss Honey, recognizes her brilliance. This girl is very brilliant, and she tries to help Matilda learn more. But both her parents and the headmistress of the school, Miss Trunchbull, refuse to allow her to do so. They don't want her to sit and read. Who? Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood, and Miss Trunchbull. Trunchbull, the headmistress of the school. Whereas her teacher, Miss Honey, recognizes and helps her to read more. One day, when Miss Trunchbull visits the class and finds a newt in a glass of water, she accuses Matilda of playing a prank on her and threatens to expel her. Suddenly, the glass falls over and the newt lands on Miss Trunchbull, who is now angrier than ever. Everyone has seen that Matilda has not moved from her seat. Then how did the glass fall? So what happens one day? She's sitting in the classroom. Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress, walks inside the class, and there's a glass of water there, and inside the glass there is a newt. What is a newt? Newt is a small amphibian, like a lizard. It is in the glass. And instead of asking who did this, Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress, directly accuses Matilda of playing a prank on her. You only playing a prank on me. And she threatens, she scares this girl that she's going to expel her, means she's going to throw her out of the school forcefully. While she was doing that, suddenly the glass falls over and the newt lands on Miss Trunchbull. The reptile, the lizard which was inside the glass, it fell on Miss Trunchbull, and now she became even more angrier than ever. Everyone has seen that Matilda has not moved from her seat. Then how did the glass fall? So if you see, poor girl Matilda, the class was the witness. So everybody was watching. She did not do anything. She was just sitting in her own place. But the glass fell on Miss Trunchbull. So how did this happen? That's the question. So we'll read and understand in this lesson how did that happen. Okay. Matilda did not join the rush to get out of the classroom. After the other children had all disappeared, she remained at her desk, quiet and thoughtful. She knew she had to tell. Okay, so when everybody went out of the classroom that day, she did not rush like how you children do. Immediately after bell, everybody are so excited to leave the classroom. So everybody rushed out of the classroom, but she did not go anywhere. She did not disappear. She was just sitting there at her desk. She was very quiet and she was thoughtful. Thoughtful means she was thinking of something, and she knew she had to tell. Let's move on to the next page. I hope you understood this part of the lesson, children. Moving on to page number 66. Tell somebody about what happened with the glass. She couldn't possibly keep a gigantic secret like that bottled up inside her. What she needed was just one person, one wise and sympathetic grown up who could help her to understand the meaning of this extraordinary happening. So, something that happened in the classroom, which means, if you remember, the headmistress came, and while she was speaking, the note fell on her without anybody touching it or doing anything. So, there's something extraordinary that happened there that afternoon, and she wants to tell this to somebody. And she doesn't want to go and tell it to anybody just like that. But she was looking. She felt it is a gigantic. What do you mean by gigantic? Extremely large secret, and this secret she want to tell it to somebody, and she cannot keep it like that, bottled up inside her. Bottled up means she cannot keep it inside her, and she wants to tell the secret. Okay, but she cannot go and tell it to anybody and everybody. So she wanted one person who was really very trustworthy, who was very wise, who was very sympathetic. Sympathetic means who understands, feels sorry for her state, and sympathetic grown up who can give her a right suggestion. Okay, who could help her to understand the meaning of what exactly happened, the extraordinary happening, they say. So extraordinary happening means what? Something very peculiar happened, and she wants to tell this to a wise person, sympathetic grown up, not just like anybody and everybody. Okay, so neither her mother nor her father would be of any use, for they would not believe her nor realize what an astounding event had taken place in the classroom that afternoon. On the spur of the moment, Matilda decided that the one person she would like to confide in was Miss Honey. So she very well knew neither her father nor her mother won't believe her if she go tells what happened in the class. Yes, and nor they would realize what an astounding means very surprising thing that happened in the classroom that afternoon. So while she was just sitting in the classroom at her desk there, on the spur of the moment is suddenly without any planning. What she decides, she has to go confide in all this to Miss Honey, her class teacher. Okay. Matilda and Miss Honey were now the only two left in the classroom. Miss Honey had seated herself at her table and was riffling through some papers. She looked up and said, "Well, Matilda, aren't you going outside with the others?" So, now it was only Matilda and Miss Honey who were in the classroom. So Miss Honey was just sitting at her table and she was riffling through some papers. Riffling means turning through some papers. So she looked up and she saw Matilda sitting there, and she asked, "Well, Matilda, aren't you going out with the others?" So Matilda said, "Please, may I talk to you for a moment?" So she's seeking permission to talk to a teacher. You see how disciplined she is. So she says, please, may I talk to you for a moment? So, of course, you may. What's troubling you? The class teacher was also very nice to her, and so she asked, of course, you can talk to me. What is that troubling you? Something very peculiar happened to me, Miss Honey. So she slowly started opening up. She said, peculiar. Peculiar means extraordinary. Something very peculiar happened to me, Miss Honey, she says. Then immediately what happened? Miss Honey became instantly alert. Ever since the two disastrous meetings she had recently about Matilda, the first with the headmistress and the second with Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood, Miss Honey had been thinking a great deal about this child and wondering how she could help her. And now here was Matilda sitting in the classroom looking particularly exalted and asking if she could have a private talk. Miss Annie had never seen her looking so wide-eyed and peculiar before. So what happened when she came and said that she want to do something? I'm sorry, she want to have a private talk, and something peculiar happened. Miss Annie became very alert. Why? Because she had two meetings, one with Matilda's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood. The other was with the headmistress of the school, Miss Trunchbull. While she had the meeting with these two people about Matilda, she realized both the people did not have any good opinion or good intentions about Matilda. So teacher was actually thinking of a great deal that she has to help this child. Okay, and now this child is coming here in the classroom and telling she want to have a talk, uh, and the teacher has never seen her so wide-eyed. Wide-eyed means very eyes open very big. So that is why she became alert. Oh, what is her problem? Because parents don't like her, headmistress don't like her. Now, what is this? She's coming here and saying that she want to have a private talk. Maybe she's going through something. So that is why the teacher became instantly alert. Okay. Yes, Matilda, she said. Tell me what has happened to you that is so peculiar. Miss Trunchbull isn't going to expel me, is she? Matilda asked. Because it wasn't me who put that creature in the water. I promise you it wasn't. So, Matilda says, the teacher asks, yes, tell me, Matilda, what happened that is so peculiar to you? Hmm? So she says, she's asking, is Miss Trunchbull going to throw me out of the school? Matilda asked. And she also said, it wasn't me who put the creature in the water. Creature is that small reptile. I was not. I didn't put that in the water. I promise you it wasn't me. So the teacher says, I know it wasn't, Miss Honey said. Am I going to be expelled? She's asking again. Am I going to be thrown out of the school? I think not, Miss Honey said. The headmistress simply got a little overexcited, that's all. So she says, no, it is just the headmistress would have got a little overexcited at that point of a time, and she would have told you, I mean, she might not throw you out. Don't worry. The teacher is trying to console her. So Matilda, good, Matilda said. But that isn't what I want to talk to you about. So now she says, but this is not what I want to talk to you about. There is something else that I want to tell you. So what is that she want to tell? Let's move on to the next page, children. I hope you understood this. Yes? Okay. Moving. Well, moving on to the next page, page number 67. What do you want to talk to me about, Matilda? So teacher is again asking, because she said, this is not what I want to tell you. There is something else that I want to tell you. So she's asking, what do you want to talk to me about, Matilda? I want to talk to you about the glass of water with a creature in it, Matilda said. You saw it spilling all over Miss Trunchbull, didn't you? I did indeed. So she says, I want to talk to you about the glass of water with the creature in it. Okay? You saw it spilling all over Miss Trunchbull, didn't you see? She's asking. So the teacher says, I did indeed. Well, Miss Honey, I didn't touch it. I never went near it. I know you didn't, Miss Honey said. You heard me telling the headmistress that it could not possibly have been you. So she says, um, well, Miss Honey, I did not touch the glass of water. I never went near it. And I know you didn't. So teacher says, yes, I know you didn't go there, okay? But however, um, So it couldn't possibly you. I heard you telling that to headmistress. Now she opens up. Ah, but it was me, Miss Honey, Matilda said. That's exactly what I want to talk to you about. Oh, the story is becoming a little interesting now. So she says, I never went near it, I never touched it, and but it was me, she says. Ah, it was me. That's exactly what you want to talk to the teacher. Okay, let's see. Miss Honey paused and looked carefully at the child. I don't think I quite follow you, she said. So the teacher says, I don't follow what you're trying to tell me, Matilda. I got so angry of being accused of something that I hadn't done that I made it happen. So she says, I became very angry because I didn't do something that I didn't do and I was accused. Accused means telling that you only did. Okay, so I got so angry when when you don't do something and somebody comes and points out at you and says you did it. How will you feel? You will definitely feel angry. You will get angry. No, exactly the same way Matilda felt. She says, I became so angry when Miss Trunchbull came and accused that I did something, but I didn't do it. I made it happen. Oh, didn't do it and made it happen. What is the difference between I did it and I made it happen? I did it means physically doing it, you physically doing it, whereas I made it happen, making it happen through somebody or through some power. Okay, well, you made what happen, Matilda? I made the glass tip over, she says. I was the one who made the glass tip over. Initially, she never went near the glass of water. She never put the creature in the glass. She never touched it. And now, slowly, she says, I made the glass tip over. Tip over means to fall over. Okay, I still don't understand what you mean, Miss Honey said gently. So Honey never lost her patience. She was very gentle and she says, I still don't understand what you're trying to tell. I did it with my eyes, Matilda said. I was staring at it and wishing it to tip, and then my eyes went all out and funny, and some sort of power came out of them, and the glass just toppled over. If you see, this is what they say, telekinesis. So she says, I was sitting in the place I was sitting and I was just wishing the glass to fall, and some sort of a power came out of my eyes. Okay, and the eyes became hot and all funny, and some sort of a power came out, and the glass just toppled over, means it fell over. Masani continued to look steadily at Matilda through her steel rimmed spectacles, and Matilda looked back at her just as steadily. Now Masani is shocked. Okay, she's just looking at Matilda very steadily without moving this side or that side. Okay, through her steel rimmed spectacles means this teacher who's wearing the spectacle has got the steel frame in it. So steel rimmed spectacle, through that she's seeing Matilda, and Matilda is also looking back at the teacher as steadily as that. I'm not following you, Miss Honey said. Do you mean you actually will the glass to tip over? So teacher says, I'm not able to follow you. Okay, which you mean you say that you wanted the glass to fall over, you willed it inside, and it just happened? Yes, Matilda said, with my eyes. Miss Honey was silent for a moment. She did not think Matilda meant to lie. It was more like that she was simply allowing. So when she said this, teacher understood, or teacher felt she's not trying to lie, but there's something that happened, or she's simply allowing what? We'll see in the next page. Okay. She is simply allowing a vivid imagination to run away with her. You mean you were sitting where you are now and you told the glass to topple over and it did? The teacher is clarifying it again, which means you were sitting in the place you were sitting and you asked the glass to fall over and it fell. That's what you mean to say? So she says, something like that, Miss Honey. Yes. So she says, yes, yes, exactly something like that. If you did that, then it is just about the greatest miracle a person has performed in a long time. So she says, the teacher says, if you have done something like that, then that's the greatest miracle that somebody has performed in a long time. I did it, Miss Honey. She again says, yes, yes, I only did it, Miss Honey. Okay, it is extraordinary thought, Miss Honey, how often small children have flights of fantasy like this. She decided to put an end to it as gently as possible. Could you do it again? She asked kindly. So, um, it is extraordinary thought. Yes, it is something extraordinary. It is not something normal. Imagine you find one, you go to classroom one fine day and something happen like this. How will you feel? Put yourself in place of Matilda. Definitely you will not feel nice. I mean, definitely you will feel scared. Not nice. You will feel scared. You will feel nervous. I mean, what is happening with me? Okay, exactly the same way Matilda also felt. Okay, but having such imagination, children at this age will have a lot of imagination. Okay, they'll have all creative imaginations, and sometimes children will become so serious that imaginations has to come true. If not, they'll become so serious and they will try to harm themselves. So let's not think so seriously. Okay, so here teacher wants to put an end to it, because the child, when she's listening to the child, she definitely want to put an end to what she is telling. So she asks the child, could you do it again? She asks kindly, because she wanna, if she says no, I'm not going to trust you, she will lose the trust that she had on her teacher. So she's not going to do anything like that. Instead, she wants to see in her own eyes. So she's asking, could you do it again? So she can put an end to it. Okay, so I hope you understood. It is a very interesting lesson. Along with this video, I'm going to send you another part of the video, so please listen to both the videos at the same time so you will understand the lesson. Okay, along with this I will send you the notes also, and then notes PDF. So please copy down the notes and keep your things ready. Okay, children? Okay, children. The homework is read the lesson, understand, listen to both the videos and understand the lesson. Do your textbook exercise. Notes will be sent. Please copy down the notes. Any doubt, you can always text me. Okay? Thank you, children, and have a nice day. Bye. Thank you, children, and have a nice day. Bye. Thank you, children.